Let's get ready for some football. So we're gonna start. We're gonna start with two teams. We're gonna do six, but we're gonna start with the first two teams. We're gonna pick to start off. Let's pick Carolina Panthers and Atlanta Falcons. So we're gonna start with those two. We're gonna do three of the 1 p.m. and then we're gonna do like three of the 4 o'clock and 8 p.m. So let's start off with Atlanta Falcons and Carolina Panthers. To start off, so Falcons don't have nobody right now. So I think Julio Jones is not gonna play, and after that embarrassing game that they did last week, well, the problem is that they don't have nobody in defense. Everybody that played defense, kind of good for them, is injured. So they just in the game that they were playing with the Green Bay Packers, they actually were playing, I believe they were playing a safety. Oh no, they were playing a linebacker as a safety. That's how decimated with injuries they are. So they don't have nobody to cover nobody. So they might put up a lot of points, but they're not gonna win. They are favored by 1 point. So I'm picking Carolina Panthers to actually win this game by maybe 3 or 4 points. Yeah, maybe 3 points, 3.5. Yeah. Right now I see that the Falcons are favored by 0.5. This is crazy. I never seen that, by half a point. That's crazy. So meaning like this game start off Falcon being favored by 3 points. So meaning that a lot of people are betting money on Carolina Panthers. So yeah. So I'm picking Carolina Panthers to actually win this game by a margin of 3 points. So moving on to the next game, that will be Kansas City Chiefs and Las Vegas Raiders. So the problem that I see with this game is actually it's 12.5. The spread is 12.5. Kansas City Chief favorite, right? It might seem like a lot, but just keep in mind that Kansas City is a good team, and just know that when Carolina Panthers play, like the first game that the Las Vegas Raiders play, it was with Carolina Panthers, and Teddy Bridgewater threw for 271 yards on them, with only one passing touchdown. And then the second game was like with Drew Brees, and Drew Brees actually went for 312 yards on them with one passing touchdown. Also, then you go with Cam Newton, right? Which Cam Newton is more like a running, running quarterback. He threw for 162 yards on them with one passing touchdown. And then last week they played Josh Allen, which is like the Bills, and he threw for 288 yards. So the trend that I see here for the passing quarterback, this should be like a great game. So I'm assuming that this guy Patrick Mahomes might throw for over 300 yards, and he might pass for over 2 touchdowns, because even what I see here is that in the red zone, the cover is really tight and they are really good. They're not allowing more than 2 touchdowns. So the past 4 games that they have played, they only allow the Bills to score 2 touchdowns through the air. So the other teams that have played them, including Drew Brees, only threw 1 touchdown. So but we're talking about Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is like different. And also we're talking about Clay Edwards-Helaire, which is he is like a really good running back. So like the problem that I see here and why I'm picking Kansas City, covering the 12 points and the 12.5, is that they not really good against the passing, but they also not really good against the run. So if we go and we check the like how the running backs have done against them, we can see that Ivan Kamara only in 13 rush attempts, he actually went for over 70, like he went for 79 yards. That's a lot of yards. And then he was sharing the backfield with Latavius Murray, and Latavius Murray only did 3 attempts and he went for 14 yards. So also they actually not good covering the running backs either, because Ivan Kamara went for a 9 reception and 9 target for 94 yards. So that's really good. And then if we go to the game that they play against the Patriots, you see that Sonny Michel went for 9 rushing attempts for 117 yards. That's a lot. That's a lot of yards for nine rushing attempt. Then Rex Burkhead went for 6 rushing attempt for 49 yards. That's when Rex Burkhead scored the 3 touchdowns on them. He scored 2 touchdowns through the ground, and then he scored another touchdown through the air. So they are not good. They are not good in the run, against the run. They're not good against the passing. So yes, give me Kansas City. Giving the 12.5. So moving on to the next game. So next game will be Jackson Jaguar against Houston Texans. So this game is pretty hard, and also it's kind of simple at the same time. I'm picking Houston Texans, giving the 6 points. If we go and kind of like take a look in Jacksonville, right? Even though that Jacksonville put up points and everything, Jacksonville they haven't been able to stop nobody. Actually, Philip Rivers in the first game, he threw for 363 yards and he passed. And remember that was the first game actually playing with Indianapolis Colts. So he was able to throw for 363 yards and passed for 1 touchdown. He threw 2 interceptions, which is a big, that's like a common thing with Philip Rivers. He always throw interceptions, but yeah, like putting 363 yards is a lot of yards. Then you go with Ryan Tannehill, and Ryan Tannehill threw for 239 yards. So that's a decent amount of yards. He threw 4 touchdowns in that game, and remember, if we go to that team, Tennessee Titan is actually a running team. It's not like they are not like a passing team. So 239 yards to me is really good. Then we go into another running team, which is no, actually this is not a running team. This is it's kind of like a 50-50 or maybe 60-40. It's Miami Dolphins with Ryan Fitzpatrick. But remember, that was a Thursday night game. That was a weird game. That was like one of the ugliest games that I have seen. He threw for 160 yards, and he threw for 2 passing touchdowns. And he actually rushed for 38 yards, and he rushed for scoring for a touchdown too. Then we go to Joe Burrow, which was last week, and he was able to also throw for 300 yards. So everybody kind of have been able to throw for over 250 yards on the Jacksonville Jaguars. So now you talking about Houston Texans, one of the best, ranked top 5 QB in the NFL, maybe top 3 QB in the NFL. So you expecting him to at least throw for close to 300 yards and maybe 2-3 touchdowns, maybe rush for another one too. So you looking to have this game might be like over the 54 points that they actually have this game over. And also, you're looking maybe for a great game for Deshaun Watson too, because if he's not able to actually put up points on the Jacksonville Jaguar, where every other quarterback have been able to actually kill them, like, this is time to actually have like concern on the Houston Texans, because this is a great matchup for them to actually maybe win this game for over 2 touchdowns and actually make this game over. So I'm looking forward to actually watching this game like really closely and see what, how they're going to approach this game, because you can also like run on the Jacksonville Jaguar too. We got Mayo Gasecki that went well. He did 22 attempts for 66 yards. That's not great. And Derrick Henry went for 25 rush attempts for 84 yards. So they have been good against the run. They haven't been like great, but they haven't been bad. So they have been decent against the run. The only person that actually killed them, it was Joe Mixon. Went for 25 rush attempt for 151 yards. Like, that's a lot of yards. Also, but I guess last week was a really bad week for them, because like Giovanni Bernard, only in 2 rush attempts, he went for 19 yards. That's like averaging like 10 yards a carry. So that was brutal. That was bad for them. But like I say, if they are decent against the run, meaning Deshaun Watson will have to pass. So that's even more yards for him and more like maybe more touchdown possibility and everything. So yes, I like Houston Texas to actually like break out and have a great game. So let's go and pick some game for the 4 o'clock games. Let's do 3 more. So next game that we're picking from the 4 o'clock games, it will be the 49ers against the Miami Dolphins. So as of right now, I haven't seen anybody throw for over 250 yards on the 49ers. Also, I haven't seen anybody, not even as a team committee, score over 100 yards on them. So meaning, like, even if you got 3 running backs, like getting 10 touches or 10 rushing at 10 or maybe 15 rushing at 10, each one of them, nobody had average over 100 yards on them. So which is like amazing, like really, really, really good. The only guy that actually went for 63 yards, it was Frank Gore in 21 attempts. So that's that's a lot. I mean, that's a lot of 10, 21 and only 63. That's good. That's really good. On the 49ers side, and I haven't seen any QB also throw for over 250 yards. So the only QB that threw for 230 yards, it was Kyle Murray. Carson Wentz, which actually beat them last week, threw for 193 yards. So that's pretty like good to me. So if we go on the other side of the game and we go and see like how Miami Dolphins do against the other teams, you could see that Josh Allen threw for 417 yards, and Gardner Minshew, even though that they lost that game, and that game that was the Thursday night game that I was talking about, that was like really ugly, he threw for 274 yards. Russell Wilson threw for 360 yards. So you could actually throw the ball on Miami Dolphins, Josh Allen actually threw 4 touchdowns, and Russell Wilson threw actually 2 touchdowns. So that's not bad. Cam Newton didn't throw for a touchdown, but he ran 2. And Gardner Minshew, like I say, if you go and watch that game, you know what happened. That was an ugly game. So he didn't throw nothing. He also only threw like 1 interception. But If we go and watch that game, we can see that James Robinson actually ran 2 touchdowns that day. So, they didn't do it through the air, but they were able to do it through the ground a little bit. So yeah, if we go in and in the how Miami performing against the ground game, they got decimated by the Patriots. They actually ran for, like, I believe, more than 200 yards. Actually, even though that the Bills, they went from being like a running team to being a passing team, they still were able to put up like over 100 yards, like rushing, like between the running back committee that they got with David Singletary and Zach Moss. Also, if we go and see Chris Carson went for 16 rush attempts and he ran for 80 yards, scored 2 touchdowns. So between the committee that they got with DJ Dallas and Travis Homer, they actually went to 100 yards through the ground. So, you could do it through the ground, and you can also do it through the air on Miami. This is why I'm picking the 49ers, giving the 8 points. I think it's 8.5 or 8 points. Let me make sure so I won't give you 8.5. So I like Miami because I like 49ers because 49ers actually lost last week against a really weird, I should say bad, Philadelphia Eagles, like in an ugly fashion. Now that Jimmy Garoppolo is going to play this game, you know that you have a more competent quarterback, and just based on having a better quarterback and just knowing that you have like a really good running game, and that you can do it through the ground on Miami, and you could do it through the air. So yes, I feel confident in picking the 49ers, giving the 8.5. I think you should feel confident too. About the being over 50.5, well, I don't know, because like I say, the 49ers has like a really good defense, and actually Miami Dolphins have been being great, through the air or through the ground, and playing against like a really good defense like the 49ers. I don't know if they're gonna be able to put up points on the 49ers like that, to make it over. You need them to at least put 20 points, and then the 49ers to put 30, and then that will make it over. But I don't know. Miami is really lucky. It's a lucky team that they actually put up points, like, by mistake, or the other team, and lucky breaks and stuff like that. But I wouldn't count on that. So I would expect the 49ers to actually win this game pretty handily, and and I'm picking them. I like them to cover the 8.5. So moving on to the next game. So next game will be the New York Giants against Dallas Cowboys. So this will be pretty simple. We're not picking any team to win or cover. The lines, like the spread is too big. The spread saying 8 point, which I don't like that spread right there, because that's a divisional game. Divisional game could go either or. It doesn't matter who is like doing good now, who's doing bad. That's they always play really good. So the spread is 8.5. So let's move on to how I'm choosing this game. So right now it's at over 53.5. So I'm going over because of a lot of reasons. If we go to the New York Giants defense side of the game, they suck. They suck on everything. Big Ben actually threw for 229 yards, 3 touchdowns. So they not just him. Mitchell Trubisky threw for 2 touchdowns too, and Nick Mullen threw for 1. We know Nick Mullen is a backup of backup, so he now went down from being the second streamer quarterback to being the third. So then Jared Goff went for another touchdown too. For that was the first game of the season. So no, I think that was last week. So that was a weird game. I don't know why this guy did that, but like at the end of the day, if we go and we see Michael Brown went for 37 yards, and there Henry went for 22. That was a weird game. Like I say, I don't know what went down there, but we not thinking now that the New York Giants is a good team or are a decent team. Reasons why we picking the over is because we know that the New York Giants is going to score points. Why? Because they have the head coach, the ex-head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, Jason Garrett. So you know that playbook and the way, whatever, how, that he got like a couple of, trick under his sleeve. So he know that team very well. Don't expect that McCarthy is gonna change everything right away in 1 year, not even 1 year and 5 weeks. So you know that, and not just that, we all know that if we go to the Dallas side, different side of the game, Dallas sucks too. Like Jared Goff went for 274 yards, then Russell Wilson went for 315. Baker Mayfield was the one, but because he couldn't do it, then you had Odell and forgot the other kid, the wide receiver did it for them. They went like for maybe 100 yards throwing for him. So that will be 200 and something yards. And that side, and the Brown side of the game. So anyway, Matt Ryan went for 4 touchdowns through the air. Russell Wilson went for 5, and then Baker Mayfield threw 2 plus. I think Odell caught 1 from, I forgot the name of the kid, but like still, so that's like 3 touchdowns through the air. So that they are really bad, like in the red zone. They not good, and they not good through the air either. So Michael Brown went not through the ground either. So Michael Brown went for 18 rushing attempt to 79 yards. King Akers went for 14 rush attempt for 39 yards. And Daryl Henderson went for 3 rush attempt for 6 yards. So Todd Gurley went for 21 rush attempt for 61 yards, and blah, 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 blah. So they, rushing, the rushing defense of the Dallas Cowboys sucks. So here's the funny thing. The funny thing is that Giants don't have anybody to run the ball. Unless this guy comes and do something. You know what I mean? Like, which he can. He definitely can. Let's see. So Freeman. So let's hope Freeman do something. We never know. So he might be able to. Last week he went for 11 rush attempt for 33 yards, I believe. I don't think that's good, but I guess it is what it is. Yeah. So he got a good game to actually perform and do something. So just like I say, picking the Dallas Cowboys to go over 53.5 yards points in this game. So I think that's gonna be a crazy game. Scoring left and right, a lot of mistake, a lot of stupid play, a lot of points. So let's move on. So next game we picking the Pittsburgh Steelers against the Philadelphia Eagles. So right away, let's not pretend that the Eagles are good. Let's not pretend that they are just because they won last week against like basically third streaming quarterback. Let's not pretend they are good, because they are not. They actually are not. So right now, I'm gonna just give you right away the pick. The pick is Pittsburgh Steelers, winning by a touchdown. So I'm gonna just give you a couple of facts right away. Daniel Jones threw for 2 touchdowns, 279 yards. That's the first game. I don't really count that game because, like, when you play the first game, nothing really matter. But then we got Deshaun Watson threw for 264 yards and 2 touchdowns. So, I actually like the over on this game too. Just because you could actually score through the air on Pittsburgh. You could actually throw on them. You could actually throw touchdown on them too. What you can't really do on them is run the ball. I haven't seen no running back to actually go over 70-yard rushing. The only person I see here is maybe Gordon Wayne for 70-yard rushing. Then nobody else had rushed for over 70. So they are actually good against the run. So meaning Miles Sanders gonna have his work cut out for him. But also we have another good defense against the run, which is the Eagles are a good defense against the run. They're not good against the passing. I see that Joe Burrow threw for 312 yards, which I don't really count that too much. Because Joe Burrow threw for over 40 pass attempt, 50 pass attempt. So, like, when you throw that many pass attempt and you throw for 300 yards, to me, it's just like, yeah, through 300 yards, like under 30 pass attempt, and then we talk like, that you could probably be good, but still he threw for 312. Then we got Nick Mullen, which he suck. So 200 yards and 26 pass attempt. And then we got Dan Haskins threw for 31 pass attempt for 178 yards. That's not good. Jared Goff went for 27 pass attempt for 267 yards, touchdown. Okay, Jared Goff went actually threw 3 touchdowns on them, and Joe Burrow threw 2 touchdowns on them. So here is where they are really tough. Where they are really tough is against the run. I haven't seen nobody go over 81 yards. The only person that went for 81 yards was Derrick Henderson. That's the running back for the Rams. Darrell Henderson went for 81 yards. So then Joe Mixon went for 49 yards, and Jarek McKinnon went for 54 yards. So, yeah, they are tough against the run. So, I guess you should pass the ball. Terry McLaurin went for 5 receptions, 61 yards. And, yeah, only Tyler Boyd went for 10 receptions and 13 targets for 124 yards. Yeah, so Tyler Boyd, you are the shit. But at the end of the day, yeah, so I just like this game. I think they don't have nobody to throw to. I think Philadelphia don't have, even though that they got a good defense, even though that they might just keep this game close by maybe 1 score, maybe 3 points or whatever. I just think at the end of the day, Purple is gonna just take off, and they just might win by 7, maybe 9 points. I think this game is gonna be. It's gonna be close, but yeah, I think that Pittsburgh can actually win by 2, by 9 points. Yeah, that would be my prediction. 9 points, maybe 7 points and 3 points, 10 points, something like that. So yeah, so 9 to 10 points they should be able to cover. So that's my last pick for the day. So I hope you guys like it and enjoy it. Don't forget to subscribe and likes my video. If you like my video, it helps me a lot, because YouTube understand that you guys like my content, and then they actually promote my videos. So please like the videos if you find them helpful. making the picks, if you actually making money, if you losing money, also like it too, because like I lose money too and I win money too. Just basing everything that I gave you, you could actually go, and with the information that I have gave you today, you could actually go into some prop bets. Maybe you go with certain teams, like I always say, pick like the highest points, like those things that I like 54, 55, pick a couple of wide receivers from those teams and do prop bets, like go with the quarterbacks and put them over yards, like do like that, do it like a parlay of like 3 players, 4 players, put like, I don't know, $50, $20, and make like a couple $100. That is easier to make. Like I always say, play within your means, don't sell your house, and please, please, please don't forget to subscribe and like my videos. See you in the next one.